Welcome to the 3 for 3 podcast.
Yeah.
I am Paul Teach Nelson. He is Alex, the pod father gullet.
Yeah, man.
Real simple question.
We're back at it.
Is this the best time of the year to watch sports?
No, better question. Can I ask you a better question?
Go ahead.
Because I think the answer to that one is so evident. Now, this one's clear cut too, but it's a question I have to ask, and I have to ask everybody.
Ask it.
Is this not the best sports podcast out right now?
This is.
No,
this is absolutely.
When you talk about two guys getting together, just shooting the chops, we're just having a good time, and we're talking sports in general. There's slim bias, right?
I mean, yes. We
Yeah.
never talk Cowboys. We never talk Bills.
We try not to.
We're not going to talk Lakers, Celtics.
We always fill it up with value. Like I think we add value every week. There's some good stuff. There's a little bit of everything.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot, we are doing damn good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what we're looking for right now. So listen, everybody that's listening to this right now, look, hit that button, man. Follow TikTok, YouTube. We're trying to reach 1,000 followers so we can go live. We want to go live with you and actually chat it up, man. That's what we want to do. We want to get live reactions, have live conversation.
If one of us is right, let us know, because the other one never says it.
And it's always me, and that's okay.
This is what I'm talking about, okay? And if we're wrong, let Podfather know when he's wrong.
It's the Josh Allen effect. It's the Josh Allen effect. As soon as I mention that he may not be top three,
he's not even a top 5 quarterback.
Not even a top 5 quarterback. Okay. Every time I go and I talk about Josh Allen,
he's not even a top 5 quarterback.
Something like this happens, like we saw last Sunday with the Buffalo Bills and their quarterback, not even a top 5 quarterback.
Who?
Right. Josh Allen.
He's not even a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah. So listen, Teach really doesn't believe that. I'm not sure I believe that, but it was a fun bet we made on Sunday morning, right before the games. It is what it is.
The Chargers let me down. I was so sure of myself that, hey, this is the week that Kansas City turns back into a pumpkin. It is pumpkin season.
And it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So
sorry, Teach.
Anytime you hear the name
Josh Allen,
he's not even a top 5 quarterback.
It's got to do it. The whole podcast. So I'm going to be throwing some Josh Allens in there.
He's not even a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, and so that's where we're at right now. But let's get into you've written up a great show this week, man. Kudos to Teach, man. He does all this setting us up, getting us ready, puts it on paper, and then we just get to have conversations. So kudos to you, my friend. I appreciate you. I figured we start the podcast with a little appreciation post. That's what we're doing, man.
Listen, thank you. I appreciate your appreciation.
You should.
It's great because
gratitude goes a long ways.
Gratitude, attitude, altitude,
all of it.
All of it. And speaking of gratitude,
yeah,
let's give some teams their flowers.
They deserve them. There's a couple. Ohio State. We're going to start college football.
Ohio State.
Those Buckeyes.
I don't know if I'm more proud of Ohio State or just disappointed in Penn State. We both thought this was it. Penn State's going to cross that hurdle. This is the year they make the jump.
Shout out to Caps Off again. My plums were telling me Penn State. That's where I was. And I'm not going to keep using their stuff. But my heart was telling me Penn State. But I picked Ohio State last week because it was what it was. And then you finished it off. You said, Nittany Lions. Look, Ohio State, we have to say what it is. We've seen them the last couple of years. Offense has always been projected to be great. The defense has always been a letdown. The defense doesn't seem to be a liability this year, and that's pushing them over top.
It's still a quarterback question mark, but there was no question mark against Penn State.
No.
It was an exclamation point. They got the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., who is arguably the best player in college
finally
football.
Had that game.
He
had that game.
Good things happen when you get the ball to playmakers.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened with Ohio State. Penn State really needs to start doing some thinking and saying, hey, James Franklin is not the guy. We both were talking about saying, if Urban Meyer was on this team, if he was on this staff,
they don't lose that game.
They don't lose that game at all. That was a winnable game. I mean, Drew Allard, who's been nothing but disappointed. Listen, bro, if you're a 5-star, if you're the man, if everybody keeps talking about you being the man, at some point you have to act like the man.
Yeah, you got to beat the man to be the man.
And he has not beat anybody.
He did not.
Okay. Ohio State did, though.
Ohio State.
They're not the only Big Ten team that's doing business.
I think they're their second best Big Ten team.
Who's the best?
Michigan. I have to say it. Listen, I've watched Michigan. Not only is Michigan probably number 2, number 3 defense in the nation right now, they also have, right now, as we sit here today on Tuesday, October 24th, the favorite Heisman Trophy candidate. He's actually leading all the polls. Las Vegas has him. He's the favorite right now. J.J. McCarthy. And who would have called that at the beginning of the year? As a matter of fact, we talked about it. He was at the very bottom of our list, maybe at 8, 9, or 10. He was on the list, though, if you go back and listen. But J.J. McCarthy, man, that kid, he could play football.
He had the best performance from a quarterback last week. I will say this. Michigan hasn't played anybody. They have not played anybody. And out of the Power 5 conferences, their strength of schedule is like 110.
Okay,
it is the worst out of the Power 5 conferences. And I get, like, you only play the teams who are in front of you. But if I'm looking at Ohio State and Michigan, Ohio State beat the brakes off a good Notre Dame team.
They did.
And a good Penn State team.
They did. But let's play a game. Can we play a game Big Ten supremacy really quick?
Let's go.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to name the position. You're going to tell me which team is better at which position.
Oh,
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start with the quarterback. Michigan or Ohio State? Who are you taking?
Clearly Michigan.
It's clearly Michigan. I'm going to take running backs. Who's got the best running back room in the nation?
Michigan.
Michigan Wolverines. Let's go wide receivers. I'm going to give that to Ohio State. Do you feel the same?
Definitely Ohio State.
O-line.
I don't know yet.
I've got to go Michigan.
I don't know yet because they haven't played anybody.
Okay, let's go to defensive line.
Yeah, that's Ohio State.
Let's go linebackers.
I would still go Ohio State.
I would go Michigan.
No, I don't think so.
And I think Michigan has a better secondary.
Maybe. I think it's a toss-up secondary. I think Ohio State has the better defense. Michigan might have the better offense. They definitely have the best signal caller, which, as we know in college football,
It matters.
it's a huge deal.
So let me ask you this. You're the college football guy. You are
Yep.
the guru sitting here at the table. If you had to leave it to coaching, who are you taking? If it's the icebreaker.
If we're just talking, listen, Michigan has owned Ohio State the last 2 years. I don't trust Ryan Day when it comes to Harbaugh. So you might be right. I just want to see Michigan play somebody. And we're getting to that point in the schedule where they are going to be playing some of the better Big Ten teams. So we're getting there. It's just hard for me to put that much emphasis on. You didn't even have your coach and you won handily.
Give me
so how
Wolverines.
much does it matter?
Give me Wolverines. If you had to put your money on it right now, give me your take. Big Ten champions. Although I think both make it to the Final Four, but we'll talk about that. Big Ten champions.
I'm gonna go Ohio State. Why not?
He's crazy.
I'm going Ohio State just because I've seen
Television.
stuff out of them. So listen, we saw another big rivalry game. Thank God. I'm so excited to talk about Roll Damn Tide. Alabama beats Tennessee.
Possibly the most underrated or overrated team in college football. And we haven't figured out which one it is yet.
After them losing last year 52-49 in a walk-off, and me having to hear about it for an entire year from Gigi. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Okay. Had to hear it. Just egging on. I would constantly get text messages saying, go Orange. Rocky Top would randomly play on my phone with her texting me. I finally got to go ahead, and I waited till the very end.
Super different Tennessee team this year.
It is. And it's all because they lost their hooker.
Yeah, they did.
You know, they lost him.
You can't lose a hooker and still be as good.
You know, move to Detroit. When the hooker goes to Detroit, you're out of everything you need in Tennessee.
That's what you need in Tennessee.
I think I'm not going to get into the Alabama game too much. I just have a question, and that's, did Alabama figure it out, and can they still make the title game?
That's a good question. So when I'm breaking down the rest of the year and I start to look at conference championships, you're going to have possibly a one-loss team come out of the Big Ten, and you're possibly going to have an undefeated ACC champion,
Florida State.
And so when I look at that and I say, okay, I think Georgia beats Alabama in the conference championship game, SEC. I think Florida State wins the ACC championship undefeated, and I think you may have a one-loss team in the Big Ten. And at that point, I'm not going to jump too early, but I think Alabama's chances are very slim.
Yeah. I mean, they would have to beat Georgia in the SEC championship to earn their spot.
Correct.
Because, again, out west in the Pac-12, we still have Oregon with one loss. You still have Washington undefeated.
Yep.
You know, they're going to see each other again. If Oregon wins against Washington, maybe both of them get
Which
in.
I would take Oregon in the rematch.
I would take Oregon in the rematch as well.
I think you have to.
I think neutral field, you take Oregon.
Yeah.
So who's your Final Four?
Yeah, I think I just kind of spelled it out for you. If I had to put money on it today, which I might, I'm gonna go Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and FSU. I think Florida State is such a good story. You can't leave an undefeated ACC champion out of the playoffs. You can't do it. It won't happen.
No.
I think Michigan, Ohio State, however that plays out, you got a one-loss Big Ten team. They're in it over a two-loss SEC team.
There's still so much. Listen, if Texas beats Oklahoma,
That's tough.
then you might have the one-loss Texas team get in, who's a Big 12 champ, right? If Washington continues undefeated, they're in. If Oregon beats Washington, they're probably in.
I think Texas hangs on Quinn Ewers right now.
Yeah, you said in the chat, hey, it's time to give Arch a look, right?
Yeah, do you give Arch a look now? Yeah.
And I don't think Texas is that dominant. I think Oklahoma hasn't looked that dominant. So I have it as Georgia probably walks into the championship, even if they lose the SEC title game. They're going to walk into the Final Four. I think it's either Michigan or Ohio State. I don't think two teams get in from the Big Ten. I think it's very rare, especially with the lack of ACC being in the Final Four the last couple of years. I do think Florida State finishes undefeated, and I have my money on Oregon. I think Oregon is going to avenge their one loss to Washington.
So if you have a one-loss Pac-12 and you have a one-loss Big Ten, who are you putting in the playoffs?
It depends on who the team is.
To me, it's an easy pick.
I don't think it is.
I think the Big Ten football has always been. I think they're stronger, but I think if you put Oregon against Ohio State or Michigan at a neutral field right now, Oregon's not favored in either one of those games.
I would have Oregon over Ohio State. I wouldn't have Oregon over. I don't know. I might have Oregon over Michigan.
Nah.
I think the Pac-12 is stronger this year. You know what the Pac-12 is this year? It's every other year the Big Ten or SEC has been. That's who the Pac-12 is. And I think if you're looking at the Big Ten, the Big Ten just they're rough. They're rough. Okay, Nittany Lions probably aren't that good. Iowa has proved they just lost again. They're not that good.
Tough loss. Gosh,
it's
every year.
It's a great loss because now when they win the West or the Legends or whatever they're calling it now, right? When they win that, we don't have to sit around and go, oh my God, if Iowa ends up beating Michigan, are we really going to hear clowns say,
at least we don't have to watch that. We don't have to go through that. You're right. I agree.
You know who else we don't have to watch anymore?
Who's that?
USC.
They're done.
I mean, they're toast.
It's over.
That's it. That's a wrap.
Fun story.
Not really.
Nah, I don't think so either. Lincoln Riley, whatever.
Listen, I had to look it up. Cliff Kingsbury's the quarterback's coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Something's wrong.
Did it seem like he had the Cardinals all over again?
No, it seems like he's doing his job. The quarterback's playing pretty decently.
Is he having as good a year as he did last year?
Yes. I think at this point in the season, he's having just as good a year because he had a super hot start. The question is, how's he going to finish? If you're Caleb Williams, do you continue to play or do you say, nope, I'm preparing for the draft?
Yeah, I think if he's going to go into the draft, which we've all heard his comments, which I believe are kind of crazy, but if he goes into the draft, I would sit it down. I mean, what are you playing for at this point? I don't think he can win the Heisman at this point in the year now. I think that's too far gone because he'd have to go so much of a better season than any other quarterback to win it back to back. And I don't think he's separated himself there yet. No. And USC hasn't separated themselves yet. So he's not playing for the Heisman any longer. We already know he's going to be the number one pick. Yep. Of course, you have your Drake May stuff that you like to talk about,
Drake May,
which I think is crazy because Caleb Williams should be the number one pick easily.
Maybe.
And at that point, I think, well, why play? Why even risk it? What happens if you tear an ACL, MCL? You get a shoulder injury. Well, why?
He's probably still the number one pick.
Yes, but why? But why slow it down?
Yeah, I think he has to play. And I do think he has to play. You can say he owes it to fans, he owes it to this, he owes it to the school owes it to him.
Does he?
I think he has to play.
Does he?
I think you don't get better at football by sitting at home. I think he needs to continue to progress. I think they should probably change the playbook around to incorporate more NFL type schemes that he's going to see, more pistol offense, more movement, more motion. That way it sets him up for the next level. I'd like to see him under center more.
Yeah, sure. You don't see that a lot.
No. And I think Caleb Williams needs to convert from, hey, what wins games in college to now Lincoln Riley's not going anywhere. No, he's safe not. In USC.
He is.
He can use the rest of the season, the second half of the season, for one, playing the younger guys who are going to be back next year, getting those quality reps, and Caleb Williams preparing to see what he needs to see at the next level. Reading defenses, audibling out into different plays he likes.
I don't think he has that in his. I don't think he's capable right now. I think he's a playmaker. He is that kind of quarterback, and I don't think whether you start him the next 5 games or you don't, it's going to make a difference.
Practice in preparing for a draft is so much different from game time reps. He needs as many game time reps as he can get, even at this level. He needs as many. He's going to see some Pac-12 defenses look similar to the defenses you see in the NFL.
Do you agree with that in basketball? Let's take the Texas Longhorns basketball year with Kevin Durant. If they're out of they don't have a chance at the tournament. Are you playing them the last 2 games?
No, because I think the college game is so much predicated on the coach calling the plays in college basketball versus the NBA willing out talent. I think it's completely different in the NFL.
Okay.
It's a great comparison. I would tell Kevin Durant, heck no,
You're not playing.
that's it.
You're not. You're
Ben
done.
Simmons at LSU, yeah, you missed the tournament.
You're
Shut
done.
it down,
Yeah, you're
baby.
done.
Shut it down. But I think Caleb Williams, you say, play it, figure out scheme, figure out how to read a defense.
I think it's mighty dangerous.
I don't think it is. I think if he tears his ACL, you're still picking him.
For sure.
Yeah. What
But why
injury
take the
could he
chance?
have?
Why take the chance?
Because he could tear his ACL right now and be ready for week 1 training camp.
I'm sitting him down. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, you're allowed to have whatever.
We don't
opinion
have
you
to
want.
agree.
We rarely do. That works. I'm glad. Let's go to Sundays. Let's go to teams that could possibly pick them. Right?
Yeah.
Got some NFL questions.
Let's do it.
Trade
NFL, my
season.
favorite sport.
It is. You are the guru.
This is my thing.
You are the podfather. You are the guru of Go. You are the man, the MV person to talk to when it comes to NFL.
Yeah, every time I start talking on NFL, it's 1st and 9. Because the tush push is a real thing.
It is a real thing. It is the most valuable. Listen, Jason Kelsey ought to be MVP.
He could
Okay.
be. It's crazy.
Jason Kelsey.
It's wild.
Trade season.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's quickly approaching. We have a
Yeah.
week left.
1 week.
So, what teams are most desperate to make a trade in your expert opinion?
Okay, so if I'm looking at it as the landscape is right now, I think there's 2 teams. I went NFC, you went AFC.
Mhm.
But I think there's 2 teams in the NFC that can look at making a trade right now. Number 1, I'm gonna start with my Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? I think they
Didn't lose last week.
did not lose
Did
last
not
week. Came
lose.
out of the bye week undefeated.
Undefeated.
That was the goal. No injuries at practice. No crazy stuff going on in personal business. We were undefeated last week, which is great for the Dallas Cowboys. But here's what I'm going to say. We have a couple needs. I think we need a big-time running back. We could use a power back. I'm not saying somebody to start over Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard is a good back to start, but I think we need a spell back and we can use some power. I would love to Patrick Surtain.
Okay. Yeah, they said he's untouchable. Everybody says that,
But
right?
let's see. And I would love some linebacker depth.
Okay.
I love the Rashad Evans things, but I think we need some depth.
I like the rumor mill had Derrick Henry possibly being a Dallas Cowboy.
I think he's more likely to be a Raven, but
Oh.
I'm okay with the Dallas Cowboy.
What was the other NFC team you had?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Minnesota Vikings. So
Yeah.
we've seen them the last couple of weeks kind of make us their resurgence right now without Justin Jefferson. There's a couple needs they have, right? I think they can use a running back. Madison hasn't been everything they expected him to be.
No.
But Kirk Cousins looks good. Those wide receivers outside of Justin Jefferson look good.
Yeah, Addison's having a great year.
Hey, I called it. I
Yeah.
said he would be rookie of the year.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to make it there because of Puka, but or CJ Stroud,
Yeah.
whichever one. But he's having a great year, just what I thought. But I think Minnesota could use some help too.
Showed signs of life defeating San Francisco 49ers
Love
on
that.
Monday night. San Francisco is 0-29 when losing by 5 points or more entering the fourth quarter. How about that?
Really?
Since 2017, they are 0-29.
So yeah, Brock Purdy, way to get exposed, brother.
Listen, I said it. We went from, hey, he's the next Tom Brady to maybe he's the next Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Maybe he looked across the field instead of looking in a mirror and was like, wait a second, maybe this is my destiny.
That's right.
I still like Brock Purdy.
I like him. I think he's a great systems quarterback.
For AFC, I went 2 teams in the AFC East. You picked your Cowboys. I picked my Bills.
Yeah.
They've been decimated by injury, torn Achilles, broken leg. You know, they need linebacker help, cornerback help. But I also think they don't have a possession receiver.
They don't.
Maybe Derrick Henry ends up in Dallas. Maybe teammate DeAndre Hopkins ends up as a Bill.
Yeah, that would be great for the Buffalo Bills. But yeah, Matt Milano going out, Trey White, those hurt Buffalo.
Those really hurt, especially with that defense looked great against Miami.
And I say Dallas too, because Philadelphia made another deal.
Stupid Kevin Byard.
They got Byard.
Kevin Byard.
I'm going.
Who already has stood on the star.
Yeah.
He stood on the star before. He knows what he's doing.
I can't keep taking this mess. Listen, even the best teams continue to get better, and Dallas has to make that step.
Howie's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's doing a great
And
job.
you hate it.
I hate it.
Team I hate, Miami. I think Miami needs to take a step as well. I think they were exposed. They've been exposed twice this year against Buffalo and they were exposed Sunday night.
I think Miami has a lot of injury problems, but I think those guys are coming back. You look at Xavier Howard. Of course, they got Ramsey, who's going to be their second cornerback, not their first cornerback. And I like what the young guys are doing at linebacker. So I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with the Miami thing because I think they're pretty solid if they're healthy.
That's a big if. Though.
That's a big if. Yeah,
that's a big if.
Those other cornerbacks, the other four on the roster, not good.
I like the rookie. I like the rookie.
What is his name? I can't remember his name.
I don't know. I just know he's the rookie. He's a slot cornerback. He's not getting any game time. So apparently he pissed somebody off in practice.
Yeah.
Who's been the most impressive so far this year?
So most impressive for me, I went one NFC, one AFC. I'm going to go Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Listen, let's call it what it is, right? As a Cowboys fan, I hate to say it, but Jalen Hurts has been struggling this year, and they're still 6-1. Yeah. That's a lot to say. And to see what they did to that Miami running game, and I understand they had 3 linemen out, but, I mean, they were averaging 8 yards a play.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia kind of stood them up. That defensive line is just it is impressive to watch. By the time you look at all the people they can rotate in and out, it's crazy. I would go Philadelphia in the NFC. AFC, I went Miami. Hey, listen, I know you just talked about they could pull the trigger and make a couple trades. Yeah, trades are good for anybody trying to get better. But Miami has looked great. There were a lot of questions on Tua coming into the year, a lot of questions on that defense coming into the year, and both have stood the test of time, at least through 7 weeks. So,
do you think these are the teams that represent the AFC and NFC, in your opinion, at the end of the year?
I think there's a lot of football left.
Okay.
There's a lot of football left. I think Philadelphia is beatable, but I think that's something that the NFL has going on right now that is semi-different. There's not a clear-cut favorite. There's a lot of parity in the NFL. And so when I look at it, I think Baltimore is an amazing team. They showed out on Detroit last week.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson's getting back in the MVP form. That's scary.
Shout out Coach. Coach was right.
Yeah, Coach was right, man. Give him his props. Yeah. And so I think there's a couple teams in there. There's 5 or 6 teams that I can see happen. Buffalo's one of those. I like the Cowboys. I think 1 or 2 moves, catching a rhythm on offense can make all the difference in the world.
Detroit.
Kansas City, Detroit, Baltimore, 49ers, of course, if they get healthy again. But we'll see.
Yeah, my most impressive team in the NFL has been the University of Georgia Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'm going to go Georgia Bulldogs or possibly the Washington Huskies. I know they struggled against Arizona. I don't know. I have no clue about the NFL. Every week, the hottest team loses.
They do.
I mean, we went Kansas City before the season. Hey, they're just going to run ruckshot through the league. They lose to Detroit opening night, right? Then the next week it was like Philadelphia. They lose. Then it was Miami. Miami put 70 up on the Dolphins. Great. Bills beat them next week. Oh, Bills are the hot team. All right, great. They lost to the Jaguars. Jaguars are it's one after the other. 49ers, great. They just lost to Cleveland.
I like Jacksonville too this year. And let me tell you something. If Cleveland could ever find a solid quarterback rotation, because this is what they're playing with right now, they're a great team too.
Is Deshaun Watson ever going to be what he once was?
I don't think so. I think it's almost time to turn the page on that book.
Can't.
But they can't. They're stuck.
Yeah,
they're stuck.
He looks like a broken man.
Yeah, they're stuck. That's a hard.
He's very tense.
It's a hard push for Cleveland right now.
Very tense. Looked like he could use a massage.
Yeah. Hey, PJ Walker looks like the better quarterback.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, it is what
if
it is.
You want to pull the trigger on something? Maybe they get Tyrod Taylor.
I said the same thing with Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor. New York looks better with Tyrod at center. And I'm not saying it as a Giants hater. I do not like the Giants. But when I watch them play football, Tyrod looks like he has better control of the offense than Daniel Jones does.
Yeah, Jersey shouldn't have re-signed him to $106 million.
Crazy.
What's another offseason redo that you would have?
Yeah, so offseason redo I would have, man, listen, I'm going to go one direction only. They traded the number 1 pick down to number 9. Chicago Bears, man, they gave the keys to the entire world to Justin Fields, and I think that's going to bite them. I think that's bad, and I think we saw it with Pageant starting this week. They're just as good with Pageant as they are with Justin Fields, and that has to be. There's so many places that a franchise quarterback money can go.
Yeah.
So you think about Chicago getting a good starter or playing. What if they drafted CJ Stroud at number 1 and had him on a rookie contract for the next 4 years?
Yeah, it's a huge advantage.
That's a huge advantage. And so when you look at a team trying to do what they're doing, like turn the destiny of the franchise around, like, hey, we're going the wrong direction. What's the best way to jumpstart that? Draft a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Not pay one. Yeah. Because you need money to surround them with talent. And so I think I'm going to go Chicago in the offseason redo.
Yeah, Tyson Badgett, last year, either ESPN or TheRinger.com, what a great website, they were doing their NFL draft stuff, right? And you're reading about this guy, kid out of Shepherd's College,
Yeah.
West Virginia. Again, his dad was a 28-time arm wrestling champion,
Amazing dude.
both right hand and left hand. All right. Ty Badgett comes out there, or T-Bag, as some people listen, can't go wrong. T-Bag has a full arm sleeve, has chest tattoos. This dude just, again, he walks into the room and assumes, hey, I got the talent, I should be here. I think he is the better quarterback than Justin Fields right now. That's not where I'd go. Realistically, I wouldn't have made that trade. I love their trade because I think the quarterbacks coming out this year, Drake May, Caleb Williams, are better than Bryce Young, are better than Anthony Richardson, who can't stay on the field.
I love that you say that because it's not often you get a redo.
Yeah,
and Chicago's going to get a redo.
They are going. They might get two.
They're going to get the first and third pick, first and second pick, or first and fourth pick, and that's crazy.
My redo is, I'm going to look at the LA Chargers, and we were calling for fire. It's time to fire Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
They probably should have fired him after last week's debacle.
What was my text last week?
They should fire him immediately.
Yes.
Right now.
Right now.
Yesterday. And they should have brought in Shane Steichen. Because
Great
if you
coach.
look at what Indy has done, right? Them going toe-to-toe with Cleveland. Offensively, dropping 30-plus points with Gardner Minshew, right? Old Captain Jack
Or
back
Anthony
there.
Richardson. They haven't missed a beat with either quarterback.
It's bad. Shane Steichen should have been the coach there. Sean Payton, somebody else should have been the coach for the Chargers.
That whole coaching staff at LA is wild. And we talked about it in the offseason when they hired Kellen Moore. Came from Dallas, and I'm not knocking Kellen Moore as a person, but he is so predictable. And I think if you look at it this year, Herbert, who everybody projected as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, you cannot put Herbert in that discussion as it sits right now when we talk top 5 quarterbacks. He has taken a step back with this coaching staff, with this offensive coach. It's evident. I mean, it's not working in LA.
Now, you have seen some silver lining, right? You think the Chargers could be good.
I think they could be good. Absolutely, I think they could be good.
Yeah.
I think at this point right now, bad coaching, bad play calling.
Yep.
Okay. It needs a hard reset. And I'm not saying me personally, I think they should fire the whole thing.
Everyone.
I think they should wipe it clean. Bring in somebody, wipe it clean.
Anthony Lynn, come on back.
And why not? You know what I'm saying? Because nothing's changed.
Right.
Nothing's changed. But when I look at that roster up and down, Herbert,
Yeah.
everybody said was a top 5 quarterback. Keelan Allen, still a top 8 wide receiver in the
He's still
NFL.
balling out.
Austin Eckler, one of the most dangerous weapons you can have in the backfield. Joshua Kelly coming off. When you look at that defense,
Oh.
Asante Samuel
Yep.
Jr., Derwin,
Khalil Mack.
yeah, Khalil Mack, Joey
Joey
Bosa.
Bosa.
They have so much talent that I say, you know what? They can do what they've done for the last couple of years and catch fire at any time. And they'll go on a 4 or 5 game win streak and turn their season around and then back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We see it every year. So I'm going to go LA Chargers again, even though I know we're talking ill about them. I think they are that team that can go from 2-4 or 3-5 to 5-5 or 6-5 really fast.
They're the bad team that could be good.
Yeah.
Well, I want to stay in LA because I think the bad team that could be good is probably the Rams.
Yeah.
Listen, Stafford, this is the same thing. LA has a problem. Both LA teams have a problem. They're loaded with talent, young talent, older
They
talent,
are.
aging talent, ageless talent.
Yeah.
And they could get hot very quickly.
Anytime.
But again, the one problem the Rams don't have that the Chargers have is coaching. Sean McVay, no matter what I said last week, okay, he is a good coach.
He's a good coach.
At least he was a couple of years ago.
He still
I don't
is.
think you lose that over the course of 2 years. He's a good coach. He can scheme people open. They can catch fire. Now, I don't think they're going to this weekend because they happen to be playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
But I think at any moment they can have one of those 4 or 5 win streaks.
They can, and I think you're absolutely right because when you look at that roster, Cooper Kupp, Puka, who we didn't know was going to show out like he did. Defensively, they still have Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have to we got to put that there. Now, I think the Kyron Williams injury hurts them a lot.
Yes.
But Matt Stafford finally being healthy again, somewhat healthy for a 35-year-old quarterback in the NFL, but he is one of those quarterbacks when he catches hot,
Yes.
you can't stop him.
Ride him.
Yeah, ride him till he bucks you, bro.
Ride him till he bucks you. Now,
Yeah.
last year we got on Minnesota a lot, right?
We did.
And we called them frauds, and we were found to be correct. They
Absolutely.
were frauds. They were absolute frauds. This year, who do you have with the Minnesota award or the fraud to be award?
Now,
This is a good team that is going to be bad.
I think they're out. Their schedule is not showing who they truthfully are. And I'm going to go off of a 30-year history.
Okay.
Okay. So I know a lot of people, you guys want to agree with it. You're probably not going to agree with it. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to go Detroit Lions are a good team that is probably worse than what their record shows right now. Here's why. Here's why. Listen to me. Just sit with me for a minute. Who here believes that Dan Campbell is a top 5 coach in the NFL?
No hands.
Chirps.
Yep.
Nobody. Who here believes that Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
No.
Nobody. Name me 3 players on their defense that are absolute playmakers.
CJ Jackson, Aiden Hutchinson.
You got Gardner Johnson. You got Hutchinson.
Yeah, Gardner Johnson, Aiden Hutchinson, and that's it.
Name me the playmaker on the outside that you trust to be a top 10 wide receiver or playmaker in the NFL.
Amon-Ra.
Do you trust him to be top 10?
Yeah.
Would you put Amon-Ra top 10?
I think he's close to it. I'd have him up there with CeeDee Lamb.
I have him up there with
Really close to it, but just outside.
Yeah, I think just outside. I think CeeDee Lamb's top 8. I think Amon-Ra's probably 12, something in that range, closer to 12 than he is to 8, right? When I look at this roster up and down,
you like their coordinators better than their players.
I love their coordinators.
You like their coordinators better than the players.
Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson. Not Ben Johnson? What's his name?
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. That is it. Yeah. So Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson. Love those guys. But listen, I think Detroit's outplaying who they are right now.
Yeah, I have, and I've been flipping and flopping on this team all year. I have Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I have Pittsburgh. I
tough.
don't listen. I don't know. Matt Canada sucks. He's the leader in the clubhouse for the Greg Roman. We hate you. We hope you get fired award.
We say it every week.
He sucks. Matt Canada sucks. If they would just play their 2-minute offense, their end of game offense throughout, it'd be fine. They got Deontay Johnson back. I got that. George Pickens is that emergency guy. I just don't know what to do with this Pittsburgh team.
Did Deontay Johnson come back and make that big of a difference with Kenny Pickett?
No. Not I don't know. Maybe.
He was throwing outside the numbers last week. I was going,
they're 4-3. I just don't they could be frauds. I don't know
crazy.
that they could be good.
Jalen Warren looks good.
I don't know. I don't know about
TJ Watt. Do you have him as the best player in the defense?
I think he is the best defensive player in football. I think it's TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and then there's 50 feet of crap, and then you have Micah Parsons. Because Micah Parsons has looked awful. I know
Get
this.
Get out of here.
San Francisco eliminated Mike.
No. Is that what we're doing here?
This is if you go back and watch the San Francisco
game-saving play last week.
Parsons got worked by Trent Williams, which I get. Trent Williams is the stud left tackle.
Do you realize
he got worked by George Kittle, who is a decent pass blocker, but he also got worked by the fullback. Albeit that might be the best fullback in football. Micah Parsons got worked. And you can talk about how, hey, the scheme does not allow him to utilize the talent. He got worked. He got exposed. This is the second year in a row he has a dud against a team. Dud. 0 goose egg. He was not impactful at all.
How many sacks did Nick Bosa get yesterday against Kirk Cousins?
Absolutely none.
You got him top 3?
No, I said I have TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, 50 feet of crap, and Micah Parsons. Then I might have Nick Bosa, the reigning defensive player of the year.
Here's what I will say. Let me give you props on this really quick.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm going to give you something.
You're welcome.
Because I think when you look at Myles Garrett and TJ Watt and the beef they have in their body and the strength that they have, they get through double teams a lot better than Micah Parsons. Because Micah Parsons beats you on speed, quickness.
Edge. First step, get off.
It's bend, speed, quickness. Now, TJ Watt and Myles Garrett can beat you with speed, bend, and quickness, but they can also run through you.
Yeah.
And we've seen Micah struggle with that at times. Now, I'm not ready to say that he's not on their level.
Okay.
I don't think it's 50 feet of crap.
I think
that comment is 50 feet of crap.
No.
I think it may be like 10 feet of crap.
No. I think it's TJ Watt. I will say this.
We'll see. We're in the second half of the year.
Micah Parsons is quickly becoming a great podcaster when he should probably stick to the gym. Now, you called it last week. You said, Teach, they're not scheming him open. They're not scheming Micah in the way they need to. You see what Pittsburgh allows TJ to do. You see what Cleveland does by moving Miles everywhere on the field.
I mean, you saw Micah play 90% of the snaps on the left side of the line. And I'm going, why? What do we have to prove? Get to the quarterback. So we don't have to prove anything.
Not saying it's 100% his fault. It's kind of his fault. The results are the results.
But I think the Leighton Vander Esch injury really put a stun on Dan Quinn.
Maybe.
I think he's trying to figure that out. And you got Micah playing off the ball more, which I think Micah should play off the ball completely. I think you should use him as third down as a rusher, but I think he's better playing just target football. Find the football, go get it.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
I know Fred Warner looks amazing. He looks better than Micah this year.
That's how Fred Warner plays.
That is. It's not always going to show up on the stat sheet.
That's right.
But
just disrupt.
Impactful.
Just disrupt. That's all we need you to do.
That's it. Now, we got disrupted last week with our picks.
Jesus.
We went from we did not have a bad week to a horrendous week in Pick'em. Last week, I was 4-8, finishing the year with 43-30.
Now, remind you, 43-30, but we missed 1 or 2 weeks.
Yes.
So that's why you don't see all the games in there.
Yeah, that's okay. We got a late start to the party. You beat me by 1 last week. You didn't have a great week.
I
5-7. Sometimes deuces are good enough to win. You 5-7. You're 46-27. You're up 3 on me. Let's go into Pick'em.
I love when we go to 6 teams on bye to none.
I hate
Way
this.
to go, NFL.
So stupid.
That is crazy.
For fantasy. Just fantasy-wise, it's the most ridiculous thing.
I had 7 players on bye week last week.
Yep. I had 4. I had to decide what choice I'm going to make, Tyler Algier or Elijah Mitchell.
Now, I did start Gus Edwards, which got me 21 points. That was good. But other than that, I mean, what a crazy scheduling by the NFL.
I just don't know what the hell they're doing.
That's crazy. All right, so NFL Week 8 Pick'em. Are you ready, Teach?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. I'll give one. You give one. Tampa Bay, Buffalo.
Buffalo,
I'm going Bills, absolutely.
Philly at Washington.
I'm going to go Philadelphia.
I go Philly as well.
Yeah, New England at Miami.
I think Miami bounces back, closes the door on New England.
I love that. Bounce back by Miami. I'm 100% with you.
Yep. New Jersey Jets, Battle of Jersey. Jersey Jets versus Jersey Giants.
It's the Jersey Cup. That's what we're playing here.
This is the trash can. The Jersey trash can.
Are they playing for jeans?
They are playing for one ski, one pant leg of the jean, broken sunglasses.
That's what they're playing for. But give me the Jersey Jets. I think Zach Wilson gets it done.
I'm going to go Jersey Jets as well.
Absolutely.
Ugly green beats ugly blue.
All right, my pick for hottest team of the year, man, Jacksonville Jaguars at Pittsburgh. This is a great game.
It is. I'm going Jacksonville. I think Pittsburgh's a fraud.
I'm going to go Jacksonville in this one just because I think Trevor Lawrence outplays the devil out of Kenny Pickett.
Good call. Hotlanta at Tennessee. I got Hotlanta.
I'm going to go to Tennessee Titans on this one. Give me Derrick Henry to rush for about $140.
I think they're going to go ahead and start selling off parts.
Yeah, we'll see if Bijan can get a play this week. Houston at Carolina.
Houston.
Yeah, I mean Carolina's 0-6. Let's go Houston.
Carolina's, they're not even playing for their pick either. So.
They're not. They don't care. So, I'm really impressed with D'Amico's doing in Houston.
Yes.
Looks great.
Adam Thielen's going to go ahead and do some good stuff too, I guess.
I think so.
LA Rams at Dallas.
Man, how about them Cowboys? That's where I'm going. It's return party.
Dallas after a bye week. I don't think they're going to lose. I think Tony Pollard has a big game.
I love that from you. Minnesota at Green Bay.
Minnesota, I guess.
Just say it. You got
Minnesota in a 1-score game.
Yeah. I'm going to go Minnesota here. Kirk Cousins got the chain on that says top 10. I'm riding with Kirk Cousins, man.
You should wear a chain that says top 30. New Orleans at Indy.
This one's tougher, but I'm going to go with Indianapolis here.
Football's weird. New Orleans.
They
looked horrible last week.
I think the Olave stuff that happened last night is going to be a problem with New Orleans.
Maybe. I don't know. I think Mike Thomas.
You could change I'll give you a chance to change your pick now.
I'm gonna change my pick back to New Orleans again. All right. That's how confident I am.
All right. Cleveland, Seattle.
East Coast, West Coast type thing. Seattle.
It is an East Coast, West Coast type thing. And you're going to the 12th man. It's not like you're going to LA.
No.
Right? Give me Seattle on this one also.
Be more blocks. Baltimore at Arizona.
I think this one's maybe the easiest pick of the week. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. Unless I'm getting 40 points, I'm going Baltimore and Lamar.
Absolutely. Kansas City at Denver.
This isn't frisky at all. Kansas City.
I think this one is nothing. Give me Kansas City on this one.
I think this is a frisky one. Cincinnati at San Francisco.
This one's tough because I believe in what Joe Burrow and the Bengals are doing. They do it every year. And here's the scary part: is they're 1 to 2 losses away from almost being out of contention in the AFC. So give me San Francisco.
As much as I hate to do this, I'm going to pick Cincinnati.
Are you
and joke,
really?
bro? I am. I hate it. I hate myself for doing it.
But
But
I want you to-
again, this is what Cincinnati does.
But think about this. You can't pick San Francisco to lose 3 in a row.
I can because I'm picking Cincinnati.
Are you really?
I am.
You don't want to change it really quick.
I don't want to change it really quick.
All
Stop
right.
trying to get me to copy you. Chicago, LA Chargers.
All right. This is another game for the trash can, but give me the Chargers. I think they get it done here.
The Chargers have to win. This is must win. Staley is going for his job.
Now, I called for Staley to be fired last week. If they lose to Chicago,
Mhm.
what's the end result? How long is he there?
I think it's an immediate firing. I think Kellen Moore probably takes over. I don't even know who the defensive coordinator is. So I think that happens. Let's go Las Vegas at Detroit.
Las Vegas at Detroit. Hey, football is funny, but give me the Detroit Lions on this one.
Again, this is another first coach fired, right? I have Detroit. I think Josh McDaniels is right there with Brandon Staley.
Yeah,
I think
so.
McDaniels, listen, it didn't work out in Denver. It's not working out in Vegas. You didn't even get into Indy before it didn't work out.
It's pretty
Okay.
ugly.
It's time to just go ahead, either become Alabama's offensive coordinator for Nick Saban, or just go back to New England after Bill O'Brien gets the head job. Maybe I don't know.
You
what
think they
to do.
give Bill O'Brien a head job?
I think it's Jared Mayo. Ideally,
Yeah.
I would think that Mike Vrabel would come in from Tennessee and, hey, welcome to the Patriots.
Tennessee's almost ready for a change.
I think they could both use a change.
Yeah, I think so too.
Those are our best bets this week. We'll see who, myself or Podfather, comes out.
I feel like
on top.
I'll get about a 5-game lead after this week.
You might go ahead and get that 5, but who knows? I think we have 3 different, right?
We
Let's
do.
see. Is it 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. So here's my chance. So you're saying I got a chance.
You got a chance.
Now, last week you had no chance.
0.
You went 0 for 3.
Which is nothing new.
No, this is new on this show. This is absolutely new. This is the first 0 for that you went. For the year, you're 6 wins, 15 losses. You lost on Washington, New York Giants points. I don't know why you thought they were going to score over 40 points.
Because it was wishful thinking.
It was something. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
The Bucks lost. The Lions lost. You got a bounce back week this week.
I do have a bounce back week this week. We're going to
All
go all NFL. We're going to keep it NFL this week.
All right.
And we're going to make this very, very simple. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to give you a couple winners. Give me Minnesota Vikings +1. I love Minnesota over Green Bay this week. That's where I'm going to go on that one.
I like that pick.
With my next pick, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5 versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Love Jacksonville getting 2.5. That's where I want to be. I believe in Trevor Lawrence, and I just love what they're doing with Dougie P at the helm there.
Like that pick.
Yeah, and with my last pick of the week,
I'm going to hate this pick, just so you know.
do you think you're going to?
I think I'm going to because we're 2 for 2. We are never 3 for 3.
Rarely. But here's where we're going to go with this one, and I'm still trying to make up my mind here. I
Kept waiting for the Lakers opener pick.
got 2 or 3 that I like. But here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to go LA Lakers because I don't think they win tonight. Give me the Baltimore Ravens -8.5.
Good.
Over Arizona.
God, that's a
I'm
lot
taking
of
8.
points.
I don't mind it. I'm okay with the points.
Arizona's so frisky.
Arizona is frisky, but you know what? Josh Dobbs has played out.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Baltimore.
All right. Yeah. We'll see if you go 3 for 3 this week.
I will.
You need to go 3 for 3.
I have to.
Listen, we're not doing 3 and out this week because we have NBA opening night.
It's tip-off night. It's opening night right now.
So I got some questions.
We
okay?
are 6 minutes away from tip-off.
Listen, we're gonna try and go quick, but not that quick. All right. We got it playing at home.
Are we going to make it?
No.
No, absolutely.
All right. So let's start before because we're gonna get some awards, right? We're
Yeah,
gonna
let's do it.
give our picks for some awards. But let's start off with best or most fun team that you want to watch this season.
Oh, that's always a good one, man. So when
Last year, Orlando was fun to watch. They finished, I think, they ended the season 29-25.
yeah, they did.
Sacramento had a great year. Light the beam.
They were fun. You know who I think is going to resemble that this year?
Who?
Portland Trailblazers. That trio of guards they have right there. And listen, I'm a Scoot fan. I wasn't a believer, but now I am a believer in Scoot Henderson. I'm going Portland Trailblazers. That's the team that I'm going to be NBA League Pass free for the first 2 weeks. We already discussed it. That's where I'm at, man. Catching Portland games.
That's so sad that you said the Blazers. I cannot believe you picked
I just
them.
want them to be fun.
That's a horror. Listen, I think they get rid of Jeremy Grant. Maybe they are fun. Maybe
I think they're
okay.
fun.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
It was like John Morant entering the league before he was clacking. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was fun.
Just caught clacking.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was fun.
Oh man, I'm floored by that. Listen, if San Antonio's on, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, Wemby, you have to watch.
Not only Wemby, but now we're getting to the point where all these other guys, Keldon Johnson, Devin
Vassell.
Vassell,
Yeah.
Trey Jones is always fun to watch.
Trey Jones is great.
Jeremy Sohan. I love this young team, and more so, I like watching Pop just yell at these guys.
Greatest NBA coach of all time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Take that, Phil.
And now he's going to retire. Like, he's baited out of retirement with Tim Duncan #2.
Yeah. When he's done, he's going to go ahead and Becky Hammond's going to take over.
You think he sees Wemby through the career?
No, there's no chance. I think Pop wants to be drinking wine somewhere.
So Wemby's first championship pops out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe Tim Duncan takes over. Let's go to which team blows it up midseason. I mean, Brooklyn we saw last year.
Yeah.
It was all hugs and hand pounds, and then next thing you know, Harden's like, I'm out. Kyrie's like, I'm out. Kevin said, all right, get rid of me.
So in true Podfather fashion, can I give 3?
Go for it.
Well, I have 3 on my radar.
All right.
And I want to tell you why, though.
Give me your 3, and I'll tell you which one is right.
Okay. So number 1, I'm going to Charlotte Hornets. Here's why. I think they're all in right now with the squad that they have. Okay. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, they're kind of everywhere right now, right? But
Expiring Gordon Hayward.
Yeah. But I think if they are well below 500 before the trade deadline, you can see them blow it up. I think they're going to you have to see mass improvement from Charlotte this year.
Charlotte has tradable assets.
Yes, absolutely. So that's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm going to go Chicago Bulls because why not? Okay, you got Zach LaVine, you got DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, who's not playing basketball anymore. Alex Caruso taking that spot. You got
signed Vucevic.
You got Patrick Williams as a young talent. You got Kobe White still out there as a young talent. Listen, they have a lot of tradable assets and some expiring veteran contracts that they need to get out of there, right? Max contracts. So I think Chicago's number 2. And then I'm going to throw you a wheel route. Okay, we just came out of football.
Yep.
Philadelphia. The 76ers. If the James Harden saga ends outside of Philadelphia, and then they start on a massive decline, which I don't think so. I picked them in our wins pool.
Yep.
Okay. I think they're a 50-win team. But if they start, you may see Joel Embiid start to creep into trade territory, start to request some stuff. And if they get Joel Embiid, who could be unhappy, it's time to blow it up.
I hate doing this. More than anything, I hate doing this. Podfather, you're absolutely right about Philadelphia.
Yes.
It is never good when before the season starts, there's already trade rumors about trade packages.
That's right.
That the New York Knicks have already lined up. Hey, this is what we're doing. Hey, we want Joel Embiid, the face of Skechers, all right, to be our guy.
That's right.
That's ludicrous.
And the value they could get for Joel Embiid.
Oh, they can get all of the Dallas picks that New York has. They can get the young assets. They can go ahead and flip James Harden, and you're restarting with Tyrese Maxey.
And 7 or 8 picks.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy the value they could get.
And you know what? I don't know that Joel Embiid's worth that. I think his best season last year, his MVP season, which should have went to Jokic.
Don't hate, first of all.
I am absolutely hating.
Listen, when
right side of history.
I called Embiid it like 30 games into the season, and you and Coach looked at me and said, "You're absolutely crazy." And I said, "Embiid is your MVP this year."
And
now I'm not saying rightfully so. I'm just saying I was right.
So
I'm just saying
you're saying rightfully so. You said you would have taken Embiid.
Hindsight's 2020. All I'm saying,
your site was 0-0.
I'm not saying rightfully so, but I am saying I was right.
All right, yeah, you were right about him winning MVP.
Thank you.
You're on the wrong side of history, though. So I think you could be right about Philadelphia blowing it up. Nick Nurse has nothing to prove there. This is a fresh start, and he's gone over young stuff. I also think Toronto could be a sneaky blow it up team.
Yeah, I think the Pascal thing could happen this year.
Pascal, OG is Mr. Trade Rooms. He's taken over for Miles Turner for Buddy Hield always being in trade rooms.
And are they fully embracing the Scotty Barnes era?
I think Scotty's the point guard this year.
Yeah, point forward.
I get that it's Dennis Schroeder, but I think Scotty's the point guard like he did at Florida State.
I hope so.
Let's talk about some Rookie of the Year, right? Scotty Barnes was Rookie of the Year. Let's talk about who do you think Rookie of the Year this year is? It's Wemby's, right?
Yeah, I think it's Wemby's to lose. I don't even think it's close. I know there are a few names that I you have to throw out there. Brad Miller could be great. Okay,
Brandon Miller. Yeah,
Brandon Miller. Sorry, the Thompson twins.
Which one? Either one. It
Either
doesn't
one.
matter.
I think they're all good. Scoot Henderson, of course.
Scoot Henderson.
But I'm gonna go Wimby easily, and then you have a sneak peek that you and I talked about, and a lot of people are forgetting that he was injured last year. This is the true rookie season.
Chet Holmgren is going to
Yes.
turn heads. I love the fact that he's going to play center. I wish they had somebody next to him so they could really utilize him beyond the 3-point
They'll
line.
play one of the Jalen's.
Yeah, but I would love to see. This is the team I'd love to see, like Jonas Valanciunas, somebody else, a big body center,
Yeah.
go to OKC and just allow Chet to play that unicorn style basketball.
Yeah.
This is something I think we can see out of him that we saw out of Kristaps Porzingis his rookie season in New York when he was turning heads. I think Chet has not a monster stat season, but has a huge impact on OKC.
I like to see if he stays healthy this year.
I think he will.
We'll
I
see.
think he will. I love that OKC team. It's young. It's fun. They could be
They are
the
fun.
Sacramento team of this year.
They are fun.
Let's go to MVP. So we're going to, again, best young player to whose league is it, right?
Yeah.
So who's your top three in MVP conversation this year?
Well, I think your safest bet's Jokic.
Okay.
Right. That's safe bet number one.
Okay.
I think anybody that's talking MVP in the NBA, you have to put Jokic in the conversation.
He's on my list.
I think there's another guy you have to put in the conversation. That's Giannis.
Giannis
Yeah,
Antetokounmpo.
and you're adding Dame to that team, which is going to give him a little more room to maneuver that he's used to.
Maybe.
Giannis could have his best season ever this year.
He
It
could.
may not be statistically because Dame's going to take some scoring, but it could be his best season ever.
Age
And then-
29.
Age 29. That's the year, right? And so, and then I'm going to throw I'm going to give you one, a little curveball. I'm going to go Anthony Davis because that's the only way my Lakers make it. Okay, is Anthony Davis has an MVP season, but I think he's going to play more 5 this year. I think he could dominate the 5 in the NBA. I'm going to go Anthony Davis at my number 3. I know you don't like it, and that's okay. You're such a Boston guy.
I just listen. Full disclosure, huge Celtic fan.
Whatever.
My favorite player is Luka Doncic. I don't have Luka finishing top 3.
I mean, me neither.
I do have Jokic,
Yes.
as you do. I do have Giannis, as
Yes.
you do. But I have another Western Conference player.
Okay.
I think this is the year Devin Booker maybe completely goes off.
Yeah.
He finally has Kevin Durant. He has Bradley Beal. I think we see a different version and a better version of Point Booker.
Yeah, I think we'll see a different style of play from him. But my problem is, how can you be MVP if you're not the best player on your team? Durant's the best player on that team, even in year 30.
Yeah, he is. I think Booker can put up better numbers, and I think if the Suns team is a sneaky 61 win team, a 62 with a 1 seed,
Is Devin Booker sneaky athletic?
Partially, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he
right.
is. But I think Booker can do things that James Harden did in Houston.
He can.
I think if he's running that style of a point shooting guard,
First
right?
of all, I can't believe you dismissed my AD talk and then throw in Devin Booker.
First of all,
Like I'm not supposed to react.
who's going to win more games, okay? Or who's going to play in more games? Anthony Davis might have a monster year. He might put up 30, 10, 5 assists and shoot 37% from 3 while playing 70 games, or
Yeah.
he might play 17 games and
It's true.
end up in street clothes all year.
It's true.
So I think Booker, if the Suns are going to take that next step into championship contention, into, hey, this is a different team, they're going to need Booker.
Surprised neither one of us threw Zion in there as a dark horse.
I don't know. I
Is
just
Zion coming back?
I don't know. He could eat his way out of the league.
I hope not.
I think he's a shoo-in for a different award, most improved player.
Could be.
I think if he does just Zion stuff of, hey, he's going to average 27, 10, 5.
Shoot 60% from the field.
Yeah, just dunk on everybody's face.
Right. Yeah.
Then I think, he probably wins it.
Yeah.
Who's your Eastern Conference Finals team?
Eastern Conference Finals. This is a good one, man. And listen, I hate to do this for you, but I think you have to put Boston up there. But I'm going to
That
go.
hurts you.
I'm going to go Boston, Milwaukee. I think those are top two talented teams in the in the East. And here's what I know: there's a lot of separation between those teams and the next 2 best. When you look at Philly, you look at Cleveland. Who else in the Eastern Conference? Atlanta, no.
Brooklyn, too young.
Brooklyn, too young.
Yeah. Knicks, they're the Knicks.
They're going to nick it up every year.
I also have Boston.
Yeah, I think that's clear cut. Love their additions.
But I've worried, and we've talked about this. I worry about Milwaukee's defense. Dame is not a good defensive player. And I understand coming out of training camp, hey, Dame realizes he should play more defense. Dame is saying all the right
He's
things.
still 6'2", and Yeah.
No player in the history of the NBA has said, you know what, I ain't playing defense.
Yeah.
They've never said, you know what, actually, this year I'd like to play worse defense.
I think James Harden did one time.
No chance. No chance. Right. So I have Cleveland, and I have it for a couple reasons. And you kind of hit one of them right on the head before we started recording.
Yeah.
I think Evan Mobley takes a step up.
Yeah, I think Mobley, and the guy's 22, 23 still.
Yep.
Something like that.
You have him winning what?
Defensive player of the year.
I think you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I think this.
I think he should have won it last year.
I think no. I think
It
should
wasn't
have been
Brooks
Draymond.
Lopez.
It wouldn't. It shouldn't have been Brooks Lopez. It
No.
shouldn't have been anybody. But again, I think Cleveland really has a tight window. I think this year is the window.
I don't know that Donovan finishes in Cleveland. That's the only reason
He
I can't
might
pick Cleveland.
That's why I'm going to pick Cleveland, because I think they understand we have Donovan for this year and this year only.
Yeah.
So I think they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with Boston. Who do you have out west?
Out west, this is an easy one for me. Okay. I'm going to go west. I think it's Denver.
Okay.
I think Denver got worse when they lost
Bruce Brown,
but they didn't get significantly worse.
No, I think Christian Braun can go ahead.
Yeah, and I think Jamal Murray being healthy for a full year, and then you have Jokic again. Like, the guy just does Jokic things. It's unbelievable. Give me Denver at number one. Listen, and I'm going to go LA Lakers. I think this could be possibly the best LA roster that LeBron's had, and this could be LeBron's last hurrah. We don't know
every year.
We're going to talk about it, but my preseason tip-off night prediction is give me the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Rematch of Game 1 tonight.
Every year, it's the same thing from Laker fans. It's, hey, this roster's amazing. I love this roster.
But you tell me what you don't like about this roster. Tell me what you don't like about this roster. The changes.
I still don't like D'Angelo Russell.
Okay?
I think D'Angelo Russell is that piece that they signed so they can make another move.
And that's possible mid-year if we're not where we want to be.
I just don't know.
He's a movable contract.
He is. What are they doing with LeBron, which we'll get into in a minute? How is his transition into a next level of his career going to be? I have Denver as well. I think they're the closest thing that we are going to have to a dynasty since Golden State.
Yeah.
I think they have a chance to win 3, 4, 5
in a row,
6, not 7 in the next 20 to 100 years.
They're bringing their talents to Denver.
So I'm bringing my talents to Colorado.
Yeah.
And I have Phoenix.
Such a bandwagon thing.
I hate their depth.
They're deeper than they were last year.
I completely hate their depth.
Deeper than they were last year.
But there's something to star talent, and Bradley Beal probably has a huge chip on his shoulder.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody said I sucked. Everybody just thought it was Washington. Devin Booker, again, point Booker. I believe in it. And Kevin Durant, I think we know Kevin Durant has burners. We know he listens to everything. So he's been at home all offseason hearing, hey, Kevin Durant has gotten past. Steph Curry's better than him. LeBron's better than him. I think Durant probably does say, nope, all right, just remember, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm KD. That's what it is. How many points does Jordan Poole average in Washington?
32. He might lead the league in scoring.
I think you're right. Yeah.
As Washington wins 8 games.
They win 12 games. And
I mean, you had Denny Avdija just looking in the corner going, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Dude, I was wide open twice. And Poole's like,
best thing ever. Poole's like, bro, I got this, man. It's cool, man.
Listen, you want me to pass it? Funny. Right? So
I didn't take this jack in the jaw for no reason, bro.
Who's your champion?
Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy. I think if I'm going to take the safe bet, I'm going Denver. But give me the Lakers, man. That's where I'm at.
You got Denver over Boston.
Yeah,
I hate Denver over Boston.
I like Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Actually, give me Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals. I like Milwaukee better than I like Boston because I'm an LA fan. Give me LA, Milwaukee. LeBron maybe finishes his career with a defeat of Giannis.
And then retires?
Maybe.
Speaking of LeBron.
Maybe.
Let's talk about.
Right? Do you have to ask it?
Is this the final year?
Is this it?
Is this it?
Is this year 21?
This is year 21.
Year 21.
Listen, I know everybody made a big deal about, hey, Bronny, he wants to play with his son, things like that. But I do think Bronny going down with his, health scare, I think things get put into perspective when big events happen. And I can see LeBron saying, I'm not going to have my spotlight hurt your spotlight. I'm not going to have you stand in my shadow. League's yours, kid.
Unless Bryce forgoes college.
I mean, can't yet.
No.
Right? I mean, you can. You just can't go straight to the league.
Can't go to the league, though. Yeah, listen, LeBron, what's he have left to play for? League leader in points. playoff leader in points.
You know what he has left.
4
Play.
championships. It's not 6.
No, you know what he has to play with.
That's what he has to play for.
Legacy.
It's all legacy.
He's
Still
playing,
chasing the ghost.
He's still playing against Jordan.
He's still chasing the ghost.
Now, I think if you look at careers, he's had a better career than Jordan.
He's not the GOAT in my eyes.
Okay.
Jordan's definitely the GOAT. I don't think even if LeBron wins the next 3 championships, if he wins 3 more, he's the GOAT.
Okay.
But 1 more doesn't put him there. So if he wins this year, say the Lakers win the chip this year, does LeBron ride off in the sunset with a championship saying, I got 5? I have Kobe.
No, because I think there's another player sneaking up behind him.
Yeah.
Player who's still in the league right now.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, I think LeBron hears footsteps of, okay, we used to hear Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, LeBron. He hasn't even passed Kobe yet. At some point, we might hear, Steph. Maybe Steph is better than LeBron.
Do you think LeBron rides it until it breaks him? Is he out to prove that he can play for as long as he wants to play?
Yeah, I think he can play until he's 45. I think he is the Tom Brady of basketball.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. But if he's not done, if he plays another year or another 2 years, where does he play?
It's not Shanghai.
No.
I think he looks
Not the Sharks, right? Yeah.
I think there's something very sentimental about him going back to Cleveland one more time.
You think one more time?
I think finishing his career in Cleveland, I think going there one more time. Hey, I think Mitchell leaves, they get assets. Because if you take Mitchell out and put LeBron in that lineup, I think Cleveland's automatically the Eastern Conference.
I'd be interested in what the
favorite.
people think. Is this LeBron? Is 2023-24? Is it LeBron's last year? And if it's not his last year, what is he still playing for? What does he have left to prove? And here's the ultimate question. And this is what I think haunts LeBron more than anything. Is can you sit back and do majority of people already say that LeBron is GOAT? Now we have 2 at the table right here. One who thinks LeBron is GOAT. One who does not think LeBron is GOAT. I think Michael Jordan is GOAT, and LeBron's still chasing that ghost. Now, I'm not saying that LeBron is – that is so much respect to LeBron James, first of all. So much respect to LeBron James. Not just a stand-up dude, basketball player, amazing, but to be second best ever in a sport like the NBA, amazing. Right, Coach? Amazing. Right, Teach? Like, you guys should be so proud of LeBron James, but he can't be Jordan. Retire.
One thing's for certain, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever wear a Lakers jersey.
Agreed.
That's definitive.
Not the best
fact.
Lakers career.
He is the best player to ever wear a Lakers jersey.
Agreed.
That's for certain. I think he's had the best NBA career of all time.
Longest.
No, players have played longer than he has. He's just played the best during that career.
Yeah, longest good career.
Longest good career. We'll see what this year is. I don't think he retires. I don't think he retires.
So that's your
anytime
final? You don't think he retires?
soon. I don't think he retires anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm going to say he doesn't retire either.
We're betting against the house.
Yeah.
Again, let us know your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe. Visit us on Facebook. Come see us on TikTok. Again, share, interact. We're here for the Discord.
Remember, get us to 1,000 followers. We want to join you guys, man.
We want to hear your questions and tell you why you're wrong. Okay?
Ooh.
I mean,
Is it us versus them?
let's face it.
Or is it them versus us?
It's us versus the world.
Or it's me versus you versus them?
It's not. Because in the end, it's you guys at home. It's Paul Teach Nelson. It's Alex Podfather Gullet, because we are 3 for 3.